Hello everybody, I'm trying this a second time. This is running terribly late, but now it isn't as straightforward as I thought. I'm not sure if anybody's seeing or watching or anything this. But this time I'll leave it running. I'm not sure how people are supposed to join here. So, still trying to figure this out. I'm not sure if anybody's in here. God, this is going so terribly wrong. So if you're joining and seeing this and somehow manage to get this to work, and you can see XS and post in there, but I'm not sure if he's hearing or seeing me or anything. Okay, so Tony's watching, which is cool already. I think, give me. How doesn't it look like? Cool, so first people can hear me. Sure. To give out this. See if we can get Volp to join us as a speaker. So I have, oh, okay, it worked. It worked. I have terrible noises coming from there. Okay, so I don't know why my video is twice as wide as yours, but that's fine.
That's okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna close Skype right now.
Cool. Yeah, let's see. This Google Hangouts thing is bizarre.
It just crashed before the previous Hangout. I just stopped it and I couldn't resume it.
Huh.
So it was kind of silly.
How do I How do I see questions and stuff? I don't even. I bet I have to put it in a different tab.
Yeah, I think all the questions got wiped when we started a new one.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. So
Let's see here.
Hello to myself. So I think if we put this,
I can't see the chat.
I can see the chat now too. So let's see if I post a link there.
Let's see.
So this should be the link for people to actually join the Hangout. It's like working.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'll just move on. So there's like 5 people watching. Like, I think there's not gonna be any more. So, what is?
I wish it would load me the chat or whatever it's called in the question box area.
Oh, there's a chat and a questions thing.
Where do I see these things at? Oh wait. Oh, here we go.
See them
okay.
on the dock on the side.
I am so stupid.
Yeah, but I got some old questions. I'm trying to get them. See?
People are posting in the questions area as if it were a chat. Chat here. There we go.
I'm not sure if people can actually see the chat. Oh, so XSM joined us. But there's just noise on his end. So yeah, we have a bunch of hellos there. Okay, so this is kind of working fine. Okay, so
I can screen share. That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought I would just.
This is really cool, actually.
Yeah, you can like live stream without live stream.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Talking with people. Let's see if I can screen share with.
A chat, murder. Oh yeah, here's a chat.
So yeah, I actually have like.
Oh, you made a whole PowerPoint on it.
Yeah, of course. No, it's a keynote.
A keynote presentation. Okay.
I'm actually a Mac boy, so I'm gonna try to full screen it, which should like continue working.
Should post this to my DA. I didn't realize it was gonna be so like in depth and thought out.
Okay, so it stops working when I set it to full screen, which is not nice.
Q&A. Is there a way to hello without sending a question? Yes. Please go to chat.
There's like a chat on the other end, and I'm not sure if I can stop it from changing cameras.
So it crashed when you tried to put PowerPoint into full screen?
Yeah, because I can't set it to. It just disables it. Like doesn't detect the window anymore. You can't
I see.
the entire screen. I think you have to like just share one window. So I'm gonna do it like this. So there's the things on the side and whatever. So I think this window is working now. So let's clean the Q&A. Is it possible to stop it from switching camera? No. Pretty simple. It's not. I'm sure I can disable people's camera, but that won't stop them from showing up whenever talking. It's like same. So.
Okay.
Just so Patch is a character because I think people were kind of more interested in the patch part of this Hangout than anything else at
Probably.
first. So it's kind of cool that Volp joined us because he was like big part of the entire process the whole time. And I think it's gonna be kind of fun. So where did the inspiration for Patch come from? This was like, I was working on a website. It was some years ago, I think by the second half of 2011. And was like, yeah, we need something to represent ourselves on the website and the web because I don't know, we're like furries and stuff, and I needed a character like to represent the actions on the website. It's a website I'm still working on, and I've been trying to work on for quite some times, and it's making some very slow progress, but it's going along. So yeah, but I kind of in the end ended up like leaving the whole idea of the patch representing that website and rather start representing, I don't know, herself rather than anything else. So she kind of went into a tool for everything. So Patch started as a character named Sam in July 2011, and it was kind of a funny character because I started telling this was kind of the core idea of the note I sent to the artist back then. We wanted a character with dog proportions, a very light gray color scheme, and she should kind of look confident and casual. So it was kind of, you see where this is going. And the big ears thing was important back then. So this was what the artist made of it. So it was kind of weird because it sure has no dog proportions.
Looks like an Eastern dragon, kind of.
Yeah, but it was cool. She was kind of cool, and this was, I think, the Stripes eventually made a cameo on Ask Patch later. Like, I think it was a question that came up later, and we were like, well, we can make the Stripes come back. So this was the idea of the original patch. So it was some really cool art around this character. I think it's all in DeviantArt still. So yeah, this was the first thing. In the end, we kind of weren't completely happy with it. So it wasn't the idea we had initially. And even though she looked kind of cool and she was kind of a really cool idea, she just wasn't. Wolf is wearing like his hat, thinking hat.
It has ears, like.
Like he's a furry now. So yeah, we eventually dropped this character when I became Brony in March 2012. Kind of had to look up the dates and stuff. But yeah, this was a time where we decided to kind of use a fan character or an original character as our mascot. This kind of was also the time that Volp joined us some later. So yeah, ponies the ponies that they designed back then for the show kind of fitted our description way better than the patch we had or the SAM that, at that time that we had, and we decided I decided to kind of ask a guy who wasn't Wolf, it wasn't Wolf this time, who made the first like vector graphic kind of art of patch. And that was also the time where we replaced the blue main and blue main style and added like the wings. So if you noticed, wings weren't a thing on the first design. They were like added later.
Wings.
So this was what we got then.
That's him typing, or whatever his name is. You can hear him.
I missed what?
I wanna mute that. Globally mute that, or have him mute his microphone, because that is loud.
Yeah, I just heard like his noise. So this also was the time that like Wolf joined us.
Oh yeah.
He made this sweet art he used to do for the longest time, and that he should do again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not the only one in favor of that.
So there's an important part to the entire OC fan character thing that we had here, and this was it helped us develop Patch as a character, because we actually had like a framework. We knew how characters looked, how OCs looked, so we could use that along with the other people. So it kind of was like every pony looked the same, and if we said we wanted a pony drawn, more or less all people knew how they looked, and otherwise they just would look it up. There was enough reference material there. It made work easy, so people, it kind of was the time also when we worked with the most amount of different artists. So yeah, it kind of makes an OC, really helps you to make this move from a thing you have in your mind and that you don't get explained to a person like this artist back then, to a finished thing without having to like yeah. So you can use this OC, this character that you developed inside of the fandom, to actually like create your own line of character, your own design, your own make your own changes and make it original over time, without staying this fan oriented thing. So this was kind of the way we worked and the way we left the fandom. I mean, I don't consider myself a brony anymore. Like, it's been a thing. It was fun while it lasted, but it kind of like became boring. Yeah, it's a thing that's gone. So now we have Patch. I mean, we left the fandom. We kind of were also like worried about. I mean, a fan character is somebody else's design, somebody else's thought. We were afraid of it. I was afraid, especially, of it being possibly dangerous to go on with a character that might get us in trouble on the long run. And
if you're going to use patches, like a symbol or a token of, a company or a website in the future, which is what patch was originally designed for and still will probably end up being when M3W, M3W, becomes
a thing,
a bigger thing.
So yeah, it also, but it also was like a bad idea to like rely on somebody else's image for your own. I mean, it kind of feels incomplete to like using something somebody else designed, using it for your own. It's not the you don't feel like you created it on your own.
It feels, I don't know, you could say it feels cheaper.
I think it lacks an identity. It's not an original character. It's not a character you created. It's not an image you created. It's something you took, recolored, because basically the first patch wind combination, this artist, I think, even recolored some of the original vectors of the show. So it's kind of like it didn't think so. This Dark Flames, it's like, so I think it's kind of notable that even though the character hasn't changed major since we called her Patch, she really evolved over time. So I think Dark Flame made like all the reference she ever had, and by now she kind of looks like this. So we changed the paws, we changed the ears, we changed the muscle, we changed like most of the thing, even the complexion, the body length, the body height, body form is different now from a traditional MLP character. Yes. Short question. They were cleaned up like by the garbage collector or something.
Oh no.
I knew this was coming, but otherwise they would have like stayed zombie or something. So yeah, Patch is a developing character. She will change in the future because she has done it so far. She has changed, so why wouldn't she like change in the future? And I think that every artist who ever worked on her like added something, and every artist who picked up another artist's work kept the changes he liked and added some more. So you can flip through the blog and see that the day as Fagnum joined the blog, it was like Volp's style of patch changed to he. I mean, it's natural. It's like synergy exchange. So they were like helping each other with it. I think I could now see if I have some questions around Q&A.
Yeah, developing Patch's design was definitely a very iterative process. It took several artists,
There's several
many, the last couple of years to reach the final design.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and we argued a lot. I can remember when I first told Volp like, let's not pause. I was like, no, no, no.
Oh,
no.
the paws are like, oh, they're not cat-like enough. Oh, they're not. Oh, that's too dog.
Oh yeah.
The
cat-like pause. Yeah, but I mean, the first pause you did were on that box image, that beta box image thing.
Oh yeah, the box.
And they were like really dog-like.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly where we're going from. Now they're more like you said, they're definitely more feline. Although I still wouldn't say they're like tiger-esque. They're just like they're almost like
It's
chibi
weird. Yeah, they're weird because
yeah,
basically,
they're kind of their own thing now.
yeah. I'm gonna try to get the
Yeah, we can answer some questions.
questions. I'm just deleting some of them that were just hellos and stuff.
Hello, hello, hello,
So
hello, hello.
there were some of the questions. I'm
Which
not
one?
sure what this question means. Like, which one of you is the sexiest? Like,
Are they talking about the artists? Are they talking about?
I haven't seen any of the artists, but you and Tony, I think, and Fox, of course.
I think it depends on who you ask. I think everyone would say that they are the sexiest.
Among the artists, I'm not sure. I've never seen a sphagnum on a photo. I'm pretty sure I will never see her. By the amount of
she's
privacy
she's
she.
Russian, right?
Hmm?
Is she Russian?
She's Russian, but
Okay.
the most I learned about her was because there's a fan of hers who actually found the blog because of her, who has like tracked her down for 7 years, and he he sent me a list of accounts she owned on for Affinity. So she had like I think he said she had about a dozen accounts in 7 years. She kind of switched accounts every
Huh.
half a year. And
Interesting.
I don't know. So I don't know who a sphagnum is. I don't. Sometimes when she disappeared, I mean, she disappeared in summer for like 2 months, and she was like, "Whoops, no emails." And I didn't know what happened, and I thought, well, that's the last you've seen of Esfang. She probably will reappear with some other nickname, and that's it. That's about it with her. So,
Huh.
what was the website for? The website that we made for with Patch initially was this commission thingy. I mean that idea I had of a site where you could like sell commissions in a decent manner without and search for commissions, because it's like extremely hard to be on DeviantArt looking for somebody to draw your character and being unable to find somebody, and people who want to do it are unable to find you on the other hand. So it was kind of, I spent like hundreds of hours looking for artists when all it would have taken DeviantArt to do would have been to add a button like "I'm open for a commission," and they haven't done it yet, and it's so freaking insanely boring to have to flick through hundreds of artist pages who are either closed for commissions, have nothing on their page about commissions, or just like, I opened commissions but I closed them, or I have like 3 slots that I opened on my time. Some Indonesian guy, and yeah, I'm asleep by the time you open commissions. So by the time you open them, they're gone, and when I wake up, so yeah, it's kind of important questions. Now that you,
He's saying he doesn't have good internet connection. He can't hear what's going on. He's wondering if it'll
yeah,
be posted.
the previous one got uploaded to YouTube, although it was like broken because there was just like me saying, "Hey, hey, hey, nobody's here. Hey, space, 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 space," and
Oh,
I think I deleted by now, so it shouldn't. So I'm gonna start now half an hour late with the JavaScript part of our stream, which was kind of the idea for this thing. But it's been fun so far, so if anybody wants to stay.
That's what I was here for, because I was curious about learning some JavaScript stuff.
Cool. So let's see if I have like my other PowerPoint over there, like super organized with PowerPoints. Screen.
You guys, if anyone decides to stick around, you guys can keep asking questions.
So this isn't rewinded. Oops. So I wanted to start this with a little. This is JavaScript. Oh, Siri just heard me talking. She was like, "Hey, I didn't understand you."
Hey, stop ignoring me.
No, when you charge the damn thing, it's like on and listening to you. So it's kind of creepy when you suddenly like, "Hey." I think you have to say like, "Hey Siri," and she wakes up and listens to you.
Yeah.
And answers stuff like this OK Google thing, but with Siri. So what is JS? JS was like a thing they had to invent. Like in the early 90s, we had websites. People knew what websites are, and they started coding their HTML websites and doing stuff. And if you look back to the Amazon, I think Amazon didn't exist by then. But if you look at the Apple website of 1994, it's like the worst possible thing. So in the early 90s, people were like, well, we can add images and text to our sites, and we can link them with each other, but that's about it. So people thought, well, we could add something else to it. So that's what they did. They basically like invented JavaScript for programmers who weren't expert programmers. Who were like, well, C is too hard for stupid web developers. They're just half as good a programmer. You can chat all you want. You're not gonna disturb me or something. So this is how JavaScript started. They basically wanted to be able to add dialogues, messages, and stuff, make websites dynamic, because back then they were terrible. And you can try it out how it was if you just turn off JavaScript on your browsers, and it's gonna be like the most boring thing ever.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's there's a thing that I'm not gonna talk about during this series of like JavaScript Hangouts if they turn out fun, and that's gonna be Node. Node is like a version of JavaScript just made to be run on servers because people were lazy as is and they don't actually want to learn two languages to program like a server and a client machine with different languages. So instead of like using PHP on a server or Java on a server, which by the way isn't the same as JavaScript.
That's actually a very important thing to say.
Yeah,
I was not aware that there was a difference between Java and JavaScript for a long time. I thought people just used Java as a short term for JavaScript.
No, it's kind of JavaScript is, well, I'm going to get to it. So Node is like JavaScript for servers, so they can do like client things on servers, and I don't know, it's okay, it's a nice idea, but I'm not sure if it's the right way to go, and I'm not gonna get my opinions and stuff into this. So I'm just gonna move on. Not gonna. I'm gonna focus on JS in the browser because that's the better alternative to talk about. So JavaScript is written inside the HTML, and it relies heavily on HTML to even display stuff, work, or do many of the things it does, because you create buttons with HTML and you create all the things you need with JavaScript with HTML. And it allows you to actually make these components that you added statically with HTML to actually move them around, do stuff, or show dialogues. So today I'm gonna get started with the most basic stuff that JavaScript provides, like getting started with what statements are, what variables are, and then we can move on. So crash course, what do you need in order to develop with JavaScript? The first thing you need is a text editor, and it can be something really basic. I wouldn't use Notepad because it's bad. Notepad has this bad habit of not reading certain line breaks. So it happens really often that you open a JavaScript file or an HTML file in Notepad, and it's going to appear all in a single line. It's going to make your life impossible. So it's easier. Notepad also has this bug which allows people to add like an ending character and stuff. It makes this kind of programs crash without you even noticing. Later, it's super hard to get rid of it, and you will never find out what happened. So yeah, Scratch or Gedit are okay, perfectly fine even. But Notepad would be my highly not recommended thing to use, because it's you can use Sublime, Scratch.
That's what I have. I'm using Sublime Text.
Sublime is cool. It's very stylish. So you will need a web browser to test your stuff, because that's something you will actually need more than anything else. You can live with Notepad, but you can't live without a web browser. Here again, to keep my trend, stay away from Microsoft stuff and don't use Internet Explorer, because obvious reasons. It doesn't work. It's terrible. And you will need hands just to type stuff. So
darn these hooves.
And you're gonna need a HTML file like this. This is like the most bare bones HTML5 thing that you're gonna find. This tag here is tells the browser which version of HTML you're using. There was this kind of insanely long string for HTML4 and XHTML, which were now abandoned for nice HTML tag, and that's it. HTML head and a title tag, because for some reason this tag is mandatory in any HTML file. And yeah, that's kind of the idea behind a basic HTML file.
You want to save this document as a .html file, otherwise the browser won't recognize it.
Yeah, that's a thing you surely want to do. I'm gonna copy I think I have the source for this thing here, because it's got text in it. That's bad. So you don't have to type it over.
I was in the process.
Yeah. You can type it and learning by typing. So this is kind of the basic HTML file that you're gonna need. So we're gonna move on to statements. Statements are the most basic unit of instruction that you can give to a browser, to a JavaScript compiler. So a statement, I'm going to have it here, are individual instructions that are theoretically, optionally separated by semicolons. Practically, you want to separate them by semicolons because they're just going to make your life hard if you don't do it. It's just going to screw you over and over. And, you don't want to. So we're going to get started with what a variable is. In what programming language you don't use semicolons? Well, I can think of several right now. I think Python doesn't use semicolons. Visual Basic.net doesn't use
VBA
semicolons. And I think Ruby and Rails, Ruby as a language doesn't use semicolons. But most of them do use semicolons, and it's a good idea. I think it's one of those things that if you don't use them, you're gonna. Everybody's so used to using semicolons that it's simply not possible not to use them. So variables are obviously used to store data, and in JavaScript, variables are weakly typed. This means as an opposite to languages which are strongly typed like Java, you can do stuff like this. Well, this is normal, but you can do stuff like this. You can define a variable a, set it to 1, and it should hold an integer value, like it's a number. You should sum it, multiply it, and subtract the values, and it's numbers. They should work like numbers. But you can go and in the next statement, because these are statements, you can set a to a string, hello world, which in a language with like Java or C or C++ or any other of the bigger ones. Siri talked again. Would give you like a horrible compiler failure, like, oops, you can't set a string to an integer value. So usually you want to do stuff like this because it's really useful and really user-friendly to not have to think about the state of the variable, like is it an integer, to have to convert it. But it also forces you to do this. You end up having something like this. If you look at this little script, it's going to have a variable a, b, and c, which a is a 1, an integer 1, b is an hello world, and c is the sum of b and a. In this case, this doesn't stop from compiling. It works fine. And you get like hello world 1 as a result of b and c. B plus c in this case is like terrible mistake.
So it will return hello world 1?
And you can make like JavaScript to some numbers, like 1 plus 1, using 1 as a string and 1 as a number, or 2 ones as a string, may even give you like 11 or 12 as a value, instead of like returning a decent result. We'll just do silly stuff.
It's actually a good question. He asked, does it convert the integer to a string?
Yeah, but it's not always. I've encountered, like, if you use strings, sometimes it will cast them. So sometimes you will get 1 and 1 as strings 2, and sometimes you won't get it, but usually you get a sum of 2 strings with 1 equals an 11. So you can, like, 1 plus 1, 11 on JavaScript. So weak types cause the compiler to decide what the result of a task is. So if you add a string to a number, you will get a string. And if you add a string to a string, you get a string that contains both strings. And if you sum two numbers, you get a number. And so you have to, like, tell it, if you want to sum two numbers, that they are numbers. Otherwise, you will get, like, whoops, I'm just gonna sum anything up, and you will see if it works or not. So to somehow round this thing up and make some examples and talk about some of the stuff we're gonna do, I'm gonna talk a little bit about functions, not a lot, because functions in JavaScript are, like, really complicated. But functions are stored behaviors. You basically tell a piece of software how a certain algorithm works, like sum of a and b is 1 plus a plus b, and that's it. They can receive any amount of parameters, and in JavaScript this is important because they actually can take any amount. If you can leave some out, add some more, it doesn't matter. JavaScript will just work and do its thing. And parameters are optional. So I think by default they're optional, and will just, like, work if you don't use them or set them to null. So to call a function name, open your parentheses, a, b, close parentheses, and that's it. So sum of a and b is a plus b, and the return statement basically tells the compiler that this is the result of the function. So you could have, like, functions with several return statements depending on the case and stuff, and it's gonna work just fine. And this is like the example text I posted, like, hello world. So this one is actually, if you copy and paste it to your browser, you will get, like, a little window saying hello world, and to click OK if you want to say OK. And that's about it. Yeah, so basically, of course, if I wanted to leave flow control for the next Hangout if we do one, and I think so far it's been fun enough to just repeat.
Yeah, I'll post next for, like, the next one. I can post on my DA, and I'm sure I can get people to come too. And
well,
that way we can.
Right now it's counting random. I'm not sure if it said 3 watchers a minute ago. Then it's been, like, nobody's here anymore. So I'm not sure if it's even working all right. But I think especially I need to practice talking in public. So
Well, this is definitely a good way to start it.
I don't know. I'm like, I get hang up a lot of times while talking, and I certainly can use the practice. So I'm gonna, like, play around with it.
I think next week what we should do, if we do it again next week, we should tie in how programming in JavaScript could relate to patch. because Patch is, she's kind of supposed to be like a creature of the.
Yeah, I certainly want to keep up the part where I talk about Patch, and I'm certainly interested. There was a question on the previous one, in the previous Hangout, but it got eaten up, about how the backstory of Patch had evolved and how. And I think it's really a interesting thing, because backstory of Patch is really.
Well, yeah, she's an interesting character. I've never heard of a character like her. She kind of takes place in this weird realm between the code and the
Yeah,
server and
she
like real life.
yeah, because I always imagined that we're gonna get at a point with artificial intelligence where we're not gonna be able to differentiate from an artificial intelligence from a real one. Like, that could be a future artificial intelligence that really has an image, she has emotions, she feels, but she has no physical manifestation rather than an image on a screen. And I don't know, I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna put my thoughts together to like make it a decent backstory and some slides to go with it.
Yeah, it would be nice to like I don't know, kind of solidify her canon, as it were, because I mean it it's really cool. Like I love the server city post where she's building her or growing herself a server city. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna see if I can change over to Sublime. Well, if you check out the blog, there's not much a mention about the backstory of Patch. She's like, well, this thing is given for me, and that's about it. She throws some tidbits at you, and she never reveals too much. So she basically, yeah, she drowns her whole story into cuteness. And there's gonna be a story intense, uh, well, a backstory intense post, I think next week, because it actually, I think it's the Valentine's Day post where she's sad about the idea of. Okay,
Don't spoiler me.
if you don't want spoilers, you don't get them. No,
Be
no.
careful. Now I have to think about Sad Patch for a week. Oh
Well,
man.
it's but there's some happy patches coming before. I think Cider has one ready already, and he has like the silliest posts ever. Yeah, if you check out his posts, I mean, Cider is unpopular around fans. I understand why. He can like get pretty mad at everything. But he's done like the wild patch one. And I mean, I think that no, there's a wild patch like this one. I'm gonna link it.
go.
This I think, well, I even wrote it as a title. I can literally hear the ringing sound of Metal Gear in my head, like, bling! And he did the walking patch. I think he hasn't done that many.
It's work.
Yeah, he did the birthday box patch, who was really funny. I think she's wild because she's like stealing cables rather than actually maintaining anything. This one.
The question becomes, what are the cables for that she's stealing?
Oh, I don't know. She just a kleptomaniac or something.
She's like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. She just like
Collects
hoards a bunch of
stuff
things.
by humans. Humans.
She just hoards a bunch of stuff, like, ooh, server cables, ooh, Ethernet cables, and she just like picks them up and then stores them over here. She's got like a whole warehouse full of just random stuff.
Cables collected. And AMD CPUs.
Oh man.
So yeah, I also should like start answering some of the questions that we get here that otherwise are never gonna be published because there's so many.
Can Patch become even cuter?
Yeah, it's basically most of them are. Can Patch become cuter than she's already?
We just have to invent more situations where she's just cuter. Oh, we have a whole Tumblr thing to it.
We have like 566 questions right now.
Holy cow.
It goes on and on and on. I have the bad habit of not deleting all of the responded ones. But there's like super long questions, like Ask Philosopher Shy, who makes like the longest questions ever. I think if you check this out, this is pretty close to the limit, to the character limit on the box. Like, you can't write anymore.
Holy cow.
And let's see if it gets down to the first one.
There's so many. So with regards to me doing more patch art, yeah, I think the I think the short answer to that question would be yes. I want to get back to doing more patch art. I haven't been doing it much as of late, mostly because during the last several months I've been focusing on getting up stuff finished at university so I could graduate. But now that that's over, I'm kind of like in limbo right now. I'm like I don't have a job. I'm not in school anymore. But I'm looking for work right now. But in the meantime, I might as well be drawing stuff. So if that means if C wants to commission me again to do more patchwork, I'm more than willing to do it. So in fact I asked him for a question the other day. So maybe today he'll give me one.
Yeah, I have to look for one that suits you.
Well, you have a lot to look through. 500.
Yeah, but there 90% is like, you look so cute. So if I comment F cute, it's like 60 results.
Yeah, I need to do what I was gonna do today. Probably gonna do some sketching. because I need to get used to her new, like, she's her style's like becoming more like streamlined, like she's becoming slimmer and sleeker, and I definitely need to practice that.
It's like cute everywhere. Cute.
I like how some of the questions don't realize that she's a girl still.
Yeah. She gets treated as a he a shit ton of times. But
Patch is it's a very
this
it's a gender neutral name.
Yeah, but this is like because at e6 to 1, obviously they force us to tag her like don't look at the ad. To tag her as a ambiguous gender, because according to the rules, she doesn't have anything that marks her clearly as female, even if we know so. I'll quote this. Well, these images you post have literally no evidence of the character's gender. So then it should be tagged as ambiguous gender. Also, as far as I know, there is no rules that would allow genders of ferals to be tagged based by external knowledge. The site rules simply state that in gender tagging, using anything else than the evidence in the image itself is not allowed. And this guy also doesn't know how to type or anything. He just doesn't know how capitalization or something works, like also dot also and.
He's trying to make an object in JavaScript.
Yeah, pretty much. So you're at objects already.
Yeah, I've been trying to like teach myself a little bit like since last week. So I'm discussing objects.
Okay. So where are you learning from now, by the way?
I'm learning from Code Academy. Here, I can even link it.
Okay. This site rings a bell. Are they good?
Mm-hmm.
Are they good?
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty good. One thing I mean, there's a few like ambiguity, there's a few ambiguities about it that I don't like. Like, it doesn't tell you why, like what you did in your presentation. Like, it doesn't tell you why or how JS is, how it's related to like the browser and to web-based systems, and why it's important in that regards. So, like for instance, they don't tell you how to compile your code in a web browser. For instance, like I had to learn that on my own.
Okay.
So like that was good. Like so that's something that was in your presentation that they didn't tell me how to do. Instead, what they have is they have like they basically emulate a text document in one side of the screen, and then on the other side of the screen they have like the console. They just simulate a console, and then you can type and then basically compile your code right there. But they don't tell you how to do it like in an environment that's not their own.
Okay.
So like in a browser like Chrome or Firefox or heaven forbid Explorer.
That's certainly not good. Yeah, okay. So I don't know. I think I'll just whip up another one for. I don't know.
Yeah, we should I don't know, we can do a little bit better job of advertising it and like getting it out there. I think.
Yeah, but it's okay that right now I'm not just a seasoned
C's afraid to speak in front of a lot of people.
Oh my god, I'm terrified. I can remember the last presentation I ever
Hey,
taught.
I'm right here. If you want to, like, we can share the presentation. I don't mind. Like,
No, but
if you want me
it's
to
okay,
interject
but
some stuff, I can do it.
it's okay, but it's like been. I think the last one I was this like nobody talked. So I was like, I started talking, nobody replied, nobody said anything. So I just started talking faster and faster and faster, and I had prepared like a presentation for half an hour, and I just finished it in 10 minutes, set up, and that's about it. I just like, yeah, this slide. So yeah, it's kind of, no, but Google was okay, so it's fine, especially because people are around, they talk, they interject, they just say hi. So it kind of,
Yeah,
and
I think
even the
that's the thing. I
chat,
think the more people you have, the more chances are of having more interaction. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, but
It's up to you. It's your hangout. So like try to get
it's
as many people or as few people as you want in it.
yeah, I mean it's okay. I'm not doing this for like people to watch it. It's just I wanted to get used to talking without like talking at somebody. It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
And if it says 3 people watching or like 300 people watching, it really doesn't make a difference for me because it's just a number down there.
yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. So I think
Well,
I'll
next week, I mean, there's a couple things we could do. I mean, I like the idea of posting it ahead of time. Like, oh, on this day there's going to be a hangout. I think you should
yeah
also post it like at the time, like the time you start it. I think you should post it kind of like people, like artists do for streams.
yeah, but it's yeah, I've done this. I think right now on patches, yeah, there's like the first thing on patch is actually the link.
Yeah. Let's see. Quick.
Otherwise, it's but it really derped. It lost a few people there, and I'm not sure if people rejoined after seeing that the hangout was finished. But I'm gonna delete this now.
Just gotta keep. I don't know. You just gotta be persistent about it. Just keep trying.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna keep trying and keep working on it.
And if anything, like you said, it's a good way to just get used to
Rate of
speaking out loud,
yeah,
which is good. So I mean, regardless of how it's received,
yeah.
and from the watcher,
Well,
useful. And then you
it's
gotta post this
important
on
for me
YouTube.
to like have it received by at least a few people. Like I'm not just talking to a wall. And it's cool that you were around and Essen was around. How do you even speak it out? Essen? Essen?
Probably Zassin, like a Z sound.
Essen. So we just speculated 3 names and it was he just answered kinda.
I guess it's all of them. Oh man.
You have to not so it makes the right sound. So well, I'm gonna like end this now.
All right.
You guys can check your microphones till next time. I'm gonna like create a new one. Maybe it works this time. And I'll also upload the slide somewhere.
Can you I'm kind of curious. Can you could you make like say if someone else has a webcam, can you or streaming a screen, can you put that make that big for everyone else or no?
I can. Well, wait.
So if for instance, if I was screen sharing.
Yeah, I think you can. Let's see.
See here.
Show for
So
everyone.
if I start screen sharing,
Yeah,
like
but
you could make that big.
Is it now big? Yeah, I think it's kind of.
Interesting. I can't tell. To me, it doesn't. For me, I can't tell. Ask.
I think right now you should see yourself on the screen.
I actually don't. Huh. That's interesting. It says you are screen sharing and presenting to everyone, though. That's what it says. Huh. Well, I'm just saying that because, like, I could, like, if I don't know, if we're doing like Q&A stuff, I could just be sketching Patch, like, in the background, and if at any time you want to, like, oh crud, I need to share a different screen.
You're on the wrong screen. So I can. How do you set it up to the entire screen? Oh, okay. I think I found it.
Oh, hey, there it is. Yeah, now I see. Wonder if.
So
Oh God.
it's kind of fun.
I love that. I love that animation. That animation is really good. She's just like flying off.
Yeah, that's. So does this work with the full screen keynote? I hope it. Ah. Okay, so it did work, I think. So well, I'm gonna stop this madness and this stream. Ooh, I saw some patch around there.
I could like what I could do is next time if we're doing Q&A stuff or during the time I could just be sketching at any time.
She looks like she's sitting on the pipes on these Google data centers.
Yeah, that's what it could be.
Yeah, where are these things?
Oh boy. Oh crud. My tablet isn't set up on that screen. Oh well. I'll set it up later, but that's just an idea. Like I could you know
Looks kind of like this pipes around here. Like they're colored tubes.
Oh. Oh, that's really cool. Where is this at?
Google. They
Is it
paint
at
all
Google?
their tubes in colors.
That's really cool.
I think they have one in Finland, and this
picture
is in Loa, wherever this is.
We can make this drawing. We can make this drawing. Yeah, totally about that.
Well, so you guys right now know that Wolf is like back in full swing.
Well, I mean,
he's
I'll
around.
do my best. I hate my problem is I hate I hate promising anything. I guess.
Yeah, I know. I realized.
You of all people would know.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we all said things we shouldn't say. And I said a lot of shit I shouldn't have said.
Well, yeah, I mean that's whatever. Like,
but it's
no point in getting into it now.
Yeah, right now I'm gonna like have.
The thing is just to start off like baby steps. Just like I'll get a question. I'll do a drawing for that question, and we'll just go from there. Because I don't know. My problem is I'm very self-conscious about my work with other people's work, and
I think everybody's self-conscious about his own stuff, but it gets to a certain degree. I mean, it's happened to me that I'm self-conscious about programming because you feel like everybody else does stuff you don't get to do. And oh my God, somebody invented this self-driving car and I have no idea how to program that. And you get very self-conscious. But you kind of set your bookmarks. I have like bookmarks on code that I thought was great at the time. And when I visited back like a year later or half a year later, it didn't look really that great. So I think the problem about people is that they always compare themselves to the stuff they like right now. So
yeah, I agree. I think
it's like
I don't know.
always there's gonna be something you look up to, but you have to like say, okay, let's set a bookmark. Let's just remember that I thought this was awesome, and when I get back to it, I will notice that it's not half as good as I thought it was. I think it's happened with a lot of people. I think it's really a good thing to do.
Yeah, it just I don't know. It just sucks because I don't know. It can be at the same time it can be a motivating factor, and it can also be a very
Crushing.
Yeah, exactly, deterring factor. You're just like, oh, I'm not as good as I wish I was. I'll never be that good because I mean, look at how good this person is or how good this person is. I don't know. I mean, I definitely like.
Yeah, but for example, like Cider does look up to Atrial. It's like been a thing he always looks at, and I think that Atrial has like this very same face complex. Like every face she paints, I don't know what they are, looks the same. It's like every face looks the same. And I think somebody even made a post about it at MLP Archive Confessions. And Cider instead has like this super expressive art. It's like everything he draws has so much emotion with just a few lines. It's incredible, and I wouldn't trade him for Atrial. But he's like always, I'll never be as good as Atrial. So he doesn't get shit done, and that's why his stuff is so little around the blog, because he has like stuff to do and he just doesn't do it because he's depressed all the time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So well, anyway, guys, this is everything for today. I hope at least the 2 people who left had fun. Yeah, it's been like twice as long as we actually thought it would be.
She didn't realize he was going to have to talk so much.
I'm like, when I get to talk, I'm like talking. I repeat myself a lot, but I think I should stop now because I could stay here like forever. Maybe next time Tony can join us. He's
We'll try to. Well,
he wanted to join, but was like, I have to take a quick shower. It's funny because he's like a very thin guy. Oh, he wrote on Skype like, do I need to log into Google Plus to join? I guess it worked, but it was too loud or something. I just give up on it, and he left.
Well, we can plan it a little bit better for next time.
Yeah, it's certainly something delicate, and it's gonna break more often than not. And
it also might help to do it on the weekend. Oh.
I don't know, people are like really active during the weekend batch at least. Like,
I don't know.
God damn,
it's just hard to pick a time because there's like people from all over the place.
That's why I thought about recording them.
Yeah, definitely. I think you should record them.
Yeah, I think they should be recorded. We'll see in 5 minutes from the time it ends. Should stay on. And see you guys next time.
Yep. See you guys next time. We'll get it working better.
Bye.